Next on the 5 o'clock report.
The scariest part of this really is the drones.
My prayers go out to the families of those 8 servicemen killed in that B-52 crash.
Vote, vote, vote until you fall down.
What was your screen time over the weekend?
9 hours.
Suddenly, you're going to have a lot more time to fill. And what will you do?
Stare at a wall.
Now, let's go to the newsroom.
Good afternoon and welcome to the broadcast. I'm Family Life News anchor Sarah Harnish. Thwarted. The FBI has stopped a terror plot in Washington, D.C. Attackers were planning to use exploding attack drones on Sunday to take out buildings around the UFC fight on the White House lawn. Here's the Secret Service.
It was an active plot, yes, involving drones, snipers, etc.
Chris Swecker is the former FBI assistant director.
The scariest part of this really is the drones. We just don't have an answer to drones in our domestic environment. That type of attack is my greatest fear. 5
were arrested in Ohio, California, Nebraska, and Missouri. 23 people are believed to have been involved. Vice President J.D. Vance condemning the violence.
This is very, very dark stuff. This is what happens when people turn the rhetoric up so loud that disagreeing with somebody is a cause for violence.
Now to France. President Trump is huddled with world leaders at the G7 summit at this hour. The top topic remains Iran. Senator Chuck Schumer wants to know what's tucked inside the deal set to be signed on Friday.
Americans need to know how and when this war will truly end. They need to know what's the deal on the Strait of Hormuz.
Trump says details will be released in the next 24 to 48 hours, but as we wait, we're already seeing signs of movement. Today, the first Iranian oil tanker was allowed to cross a U.S. blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. We also heard from Iran. The foreign minister said they're not okay with Israel and Lebanon.
From our point of view, one side is the United States and Israel. The other side is Iran and Hezbollah. And the end of the war in Lebanon is an inseparable part of the complete end of the war.
President Trump saying he's not okay with the fighting in Lebanon either.
I'm not happy with the way Israel has handled themselves with Lebanon and with Hezbollah. They should have been able to do the job faster. It just goes on forever. And when that happens, it throws a negative light on the big deal.
The terror network Hezbollah has been attacking settlements in northern Israel. An investigation is underway into a B-52 bomber crash that left 8 dead at Edwards Air Force Base in California during a routine training mission on Monday. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Darren Gaub on what might have gone wrong.
Something could have failed. They could have lost power. There could be bad fuel. It's really too early to tell for sure. And it's going to take time, especially with this kind of accident, to sort all of these things out.
Robert Harward is the former deputy commander of U.S. CENTCOM.
Let me say my hearts and prayers go out to the families of those 8 servicemen killed in that B-52 crash. It just reinforces how dangerous the profession is, not just at war, but while they're training and preparing for war.
Voters across Georgia, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Washington, D.C. are going to the polls today. This Atlanta voter says whatever your primary preference is, the point is to get out there and vote.
I feel, in my opinion, voting makes change. Without voting, you can't speak about nothing if you don't vote. Every vote counts. Vote, vote, vote until you fall down. Vote.
President Trump's political muscle is being tested in Georgia, where he gave a last-minute endorsement to GOP Congressman Mike Collins over former football coach Derek Dooley in the primary runoff. Teens in the UK are responding after Britain banned those under 16 from all social media apps.
I didn't think it would actually happen.
What was your screen time over the weekend?
9 hours.
9 hours. So suddenly you're going to have a lot more time to fill. And what will you do?
Stare at a wall.
It was a hard no for that teen. The UK concerned about kids' mental health. 28 countries are now considering bans or adding restrictions on kids using social media. In the U.S., 58% of children have a tablet by the age of 4. The America 250 group is sealing a time capsule meant to be opened on America's 500th birthday. That would be in the year 2276. That capsule includes items items from all 50 states. New York put a minted coin inside, Pennsylvania an America 250 booklet. The capsule will be buried in Philadelphia on July 4th. And a new Gallup poll shows a record low 58% of Americans are proud to be American as America gets ready to celebrate its 250th birthday. Tim Barton with Wall Builder says that's too bad.
We have been the most free, the most stable, prosperous, and benevolent nation in the history of the world. And for the last 250 years, we have actually done some pretty exceptional things. From an objective perspective, America really is a unique and special nation.
Barton cites a lack of interest in civics for dwindling pride in this country.
We've had one constitution since 1787. Our constitution is 239 years old. The average length of a constitution in world history is 17 to 19 years. We are the most stable, the most free, the most prosperous of any nation in the history of the world, and we should celebrate it.
The Gallup poll finds just 4 in 10 Gen Zers express high levels of American pride. Compare that to baby boomers, where 75% are proud to be an American. Still to come on the 5 o'clock report, just how many tornadoes landed in Pennsylvania, a landmark gun case in New York shot down, and Jerry Sandusky back in the news. Those stories after weather.
I'm Kevin Williams, and here is your Family Life regional weather forecast. No issues this evening, a nice evening for most, but clouds will build tonight. And during the overnight hours, there'll be a shower or two, a couple of thunder showers roaming parts of the area from western Pennsylvania into western New York. Low temps in the 50s, so not as cool as last night. Tomorrow, variably cloudy skies, a couple of scattered showers and thunder showers. Highs in the 70s, and then it'll be more humid, rather cloudy tomorrow night into Thursday with numerous showers and a couple of thunderstorms. High temperatures Thursday, upper 70s to the middle 80s.
Thank you, Kevin. Checking the stories making news where you live across New York and Pennsylvania. New York Governor Kathy Hochul is responding after the U.S. Supreme Court declined to hear a landmark case on New York's gun laws. Family Life's Mark Webster has more.
Hochul called it a massive victory, saying, quote, the gun lobby fought tooth and nail against the toughest gun law in the nation, but even the Supreme Court saw they had no merit. New York allows lawsuits to be filed against gun makers, wholesalers, and dealers, opening the door to victims of the 2022 Tops grocery store shooting to sue companies that sold gun parts to shooter Peyton Gendron. The National Shooting Sports Foundation says holding the firearm industry responsible for the criminal misuse of a firearm is akin to holding Ford Motor Company responsible for damages from a drunk driver. Mark Webster, Family Life News.
Thank you, Mark. After a day of tornado tracking, National Weather Service data is in, and at least 6 confirmed tornadoes touched down Sunday night from all those crazy storms in Pennsylvania. This guy told CBS an EF1 twister picked up a tree and flung it at his house in Ambridge.
You know, as I closed the door, turned around, I heard boom. What it was at that moment, there was no way for me to know.
When the storm passed, only part of the tree landed where they were standing.
If the whole tree itself actually fell on the house, it would have been over.
The storm also dropped tornadoes in Center, Beaver, Jefferson, Warren, Lancaster, and Potter counties, with a potential 7th tornado being checked out by the National Weather Service in Butler County. Pine Glen, Grand Valley, Ambridge, and Anita outside Punxsutawney were hit with EF1 tornadoes at 110 miles an hour, downing trees and power lines, blocking roads, and damaging mobile homes.
I'll tell you, it was the worst storm I ever seen since I've been here.
That tornado in Ambridge in Beaver County was on the ground for a full 3 miles. Jury selection is underway in the federal trial of top supermarket shooter Peyton Gendron in Buffalo, New York. The May 14th, 2022 racially motivated terror attack left 10 dead, 3 wounded, and a 22-year-old killer behind bars. More from Dave McKinley with WGRZ.
Gendron, through his attorneys, did offer to plead guilty if the death penalty was taken off the table. That is something the government has thus far declined to do. The judge also spoke about the weighty responsibility that will fall to those who are eventually selected for this case, because they and not the judge will decide whether Peyton Gendron would live or die for his crimes if he is convicted.
The trial gets underway in October. It's expected to last 3 to 4 months. New York Governor Kathy Hochul spent the day touting home ownership today.
I believe that home ownership is not just a financial milestone. It's a very big deal to own a home, especially in this day and age, but it's also a cornerstone of our community. It's a place of stability, and it allows people to build wealth.
The governor using the press conference to announce the first STAR rebate checks are in the mail to 3 million New Yorkers. The program providing $2 billion in property tax relief.
For many homeowners, it'll be an extra $350 to $600 in their pockets. But for seniors, the benefit is even bigger. Many are on fixed income. Eligible seniors will receive between $700 and $1,500 in relief.
Some will get the money soon. Others won't see it till late summer or early fall. You can check on the status at ny.gov/star. While Governor Hochul was looking at housing, Governor Shapiro is brushing up on his German. The Pennsylvania governor hosting the German ambassador to the U.S. for a bilateral meeting in Harrisburg. They signed a joint agreement to expand apprenticeships and career technical education between Pennsylvania and Germany. There was a meeting Monday night on the massive $100 billion semiconductor manufacturing plant coming to the town of Clay in central New York. Micron on their minds. The question is, can Clay handle it?
There's a lot of thoughtful people coming together to say, how do we make sure we have enough childcare? How do we make sure we have enough education? How do we make sure that we're protecting the environment? How do we make sure that we build for the future?
Oswego County Legislature Chairman James Weatherup tells WSTM the county is still playing catch up.
Quite honestly, I don't know that we're really prepared for it. Housing is an issue, and it's a local issue too, because we can plan for it, but you need to have the local towns and villages that have a home rule. They need to have their planning correct.
The plant will create 50,000 jobs over the next 20 years. Governor Hochul says they're short 30,000 houses to pull that off in Clay. In Center County, Pennsylvania, a date has been set for a new court hearing for convicted child molester Jerry Sandusky. The evidentiary hearing will happen September 8th at the Center County Courthouse in Bellefonte, and Sandusky is expected to be there. That hearing will focus on changing testimony from one of Sandusky's accusers. The 82-year-old former Penn State football coach is serving a 30-year sentence after being found guilty in 2012 on more than 40 child sex abuse charges. More than 50,000 New York residents took advantage of early voting over the weekend. This is for the primary election, which is 1 week from today. SUNY political science professor Scott Minkoff says those who take part in primary elections are typically more concerned with party representation than policy.
It's not the case that in a primary election, we usually get people that are voting because they care particularly about an issue. That tends to be more of a general election phenomenon.
Early voting for New York's primary election ends this Sunday. And there is a Pennsylvania ministry that builds up families in struggling areas of Altoona. Heather Menges is with the Nehemiah Project.
To help build families' faith in their future. And at the end of the day, it's just a biblical concept of just transforming your city and just building what it takes to be able to help people with their future and to be able to change the trajectory of their life.
Menges explains exactly what the Nehemiah Project does.
Currently, we serve 400 to 500 meals a day during the summer to the summer food program and also adult meal program at our building. One of the programs that they added was called the Elite Performance. So the second floor is a baseball facility, and that's used for outreach, and it's also used for coaches to be able to come in and rent that to be able to teach baseball skills to individuals throughout the city. So that's been really amazing. During the winter season, we have over 100 kids come there a day with their coaches and learning baseball skills.
Heather Menges of the Nehemiah Project is our hometown hero for today. You can check out the full interview online anytime at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or at familylife.org.
Neglect can quietly undo what hard work once built. Hi, I'm Rob West with a Faith and Finance Minute. In Proverbs 24, the writer passes a vineyard overrun with thorns, covered in weeds, and surrounded by a broken wall. Nothing dramatic happened there. No fire, no theft, no disaster, just neglect. That's an important reminder for us today. Financial trouble doesn't always begin with one reckless decision. Sometimes it grows through small habits of apathy, putting off a budget review, delaying needed repairs, skipping savings contributions, or refusing to develop new skills at work. What God entrusts to us needs ongoing care. A little effort repeated faithfully over time can protect and grow the resources God has placed in your hands. Get biblical answers to your financial questions in the Faith Fi community. Download Faith Fi, Faith and Finance in your app store or visit faithfi.com.
Finally, at 5 in Kansas, it was the 911 call that backfired. A disgruntled person called the emergency line to report 2 young brothers running a lemonade stand. It turns out, though, they weren't criminals, just tiny entrepreneurs.
Grape, and I think that was blue raspberry.
The responding officer put out an all call, and one by one, dozens and dozens of officers came to buy lemonade over the next 30 minutes.
Some stickers, they gave us a lot of things, and I used it on my shirt, and then they was like, now you're an official police officer.
But the greatest gift was the money jar at the end of a hard workday.
I just wanted to help the homeless. Use the money for my nephew and niece inside. I was going to use the money to buy them diapers and stuff.
A few dozen officers, some glasses of lemonade, and a lesson in economics. And that's the world that we live in for Tuesday, the 16th of June. I'm Sarah Harnish, and this is Family Life News.